So, what does it really take to succeed? I mean, not just in your job, but in life, right? Well, today, we're going to dive into the powerful principles from one of the most incredible leaders of our time, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. All right, let's just jump right in with a quote that kind of challenges everything we think we know. He said, "Success is not luck. Success is not an accident." Think about that. It wasn't luck for him, and he's telling us it's not going to be luck for you either. And that one idea, right there, it just forces us to ask, so what is it? I mean, if it's not an accident, if it's not just some random roll of the dice, then what in the world is it? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, but also incredibly profound. It's a process, a deliberate one, a system, you could say, a set of rules that you can actually follow. And honestly, there is no better proof, no better case study than the life of Dr. Kalam himself. This is a man who proved this system works, even when everything was stacked against him. Just take a second and really look at this. On one side, you've got his beginnings, a small town, no money, absolutely no special advantages. And then you look at the other side, the destination, President of India, the missile man, a global icon who inspired millions. The gap between those 2 points, it seems impossible, right? So the big question is, how on earth did he do it? Well, he did it by living a life built on a foundation of really powerful and, more importantly, actionable principles. Okay, so where do we even begin? It all starts with the foundation. This is the internal stuff, the mindset that you absolutely have to get right before anything else can work. And that foundation is all about your dream and your plan. And this first principle from him is a total game changer. He said, "Dream is not what you see in sleep. It is the thing that does not let you sleep." Wow. A real dream isn't just some passive wish you have. No, it's an obsession. It's that thing that literally pulls you out of bed in the morning and keeps your mind buzzing at night. That's your purpose. And here's the bottom line. A small dream gives you a small life. A big dream, that gives you a big life. The scale of your ambition basically sets the ceiling for your life. Dr. Kalam truly believed that if you want to do something extraordinary, you have to first find the courage to dream of something extraordinary. But of course, a dream by itself, that's not quite enough. And that brings us to the next critical piece. A dream without a plan is really just a wish, isn't it? You've got to break that huge, kind of scary vision down into small, manageable steps. You have to ask yourself, what are my daily tasks? What are the monthly milestones I need to hit? What skills do I absolutely have to learn? Who are the people I need to connect with? This is how you actually start climbing the mountain. And another huge part of that foundation is protecting your mind. You got to guard it. Dr. Kalam was a massive believer that your mind literally becomes what you feed it. So surrounding yourself with positive inputs. We're talking good habits, good books, good people, good thoughts. That's not just a nice, fluffy idea. It's a non-negotiable strategy for success. Okay, so once that foundation is solid, we need an engine. And this next part is all about that. The external actions, the hard work and the constant learning that will actually turn your vision into something real. And another one of his core principles is just captured so perfectly in this quote. If you want to shine like the sun, first burn like the sun. I mean, wow. Dr. Kalam's work ethic was the stuff of legends. He knew deep down that mastery and self-respect, they aren't just handed to you, they are earned. And they're earned through intense, disciplined effort. There are no shortcuts, period. The logic here is, well, it's simple, and you just can't argue with it. You put in ordinary effort, you're going to get an ordinary life. But if you want an extraordinary life, you have to be willing to put in that extraordinary effort. The input directly determines the output. They're linked. And the fuel for that engine, it was his commitment to being a student forever. The man read thousands of books and stayed curious right up until his very last day. Because the moment you think you know it all, that's the exact moment you stop growing. Your greatest investment will always be your own mind. So, what about failure? Because we all face it. For Dr. Kalam, I mean, this guy worked on super complex rockets and missiles. Failure was basically a constant companion. But he taught us to see it completely differently, to reframe it. Failure isn't the end. It's just data. It's like the tuition you have to pay to get experience. And that experience is what gives you the wisdom you need to finally succeed. All right, so we've built the foundation. We've fired up the engine. But for Dr. Kalam, none of that mattered without the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, purpose. This is all about character and the impact you actually leave behind. Let's talk about humility for a second. Even after he became president, meeting world leaders and all that, he was still just a simple, grounded person. And this is so important because success without humility, well, that's just arrogance and it pushes people away. But success with humility, that becomes an incredible source of inspiration for everyone around you. And this idea flows right into one of his biggest lessons: chase impact, not money. He never really worked for a paycheck. He worked for a cause. You look at his life, advancing India's space program, its security, dedicating himself to educating the youth. His whole career was about building something bigger than himself, for his country. He taught us that real, meaningful success is always, always found when you're serving other people. And this right here, this single line pretty much sums up his entire life's philosophy. Dream, plan, work, struggle, succeed. And then, inspire. It's a mission, not a short-term goal. You dream, you plan, you put in the work, you're gonna struggle, for sure, but you keep going until you succeed. And once you're there, your final job is to turn around and inspire others to do the same. So, we've walked through Dr. Kalam's incredible principles. But look, this isn't just a history lesson. The focus now, it shifts from his story to your story. Because your mission, it starts right now. And I want you to remember this. Success is not found when things are easy and comfortable. It's forged in those moments when you're totally exhausted, when you have to burn like the sun even when you don't feel like it. It's when every single part of you is screaming to stop, but you make that choice to show up anyway. That is where progress happens. Success belongs to the person whose mind is just wired for opportunity, the one who doesn't see failure and think it's over, but instead sees it as the price of wisdom, the person who can look at a huge problem and ask, okay, how can this make me stronger? And in the end, it really all boils down to this one thing. Talent can fail you. Luck, it'll definitely run out. But the person who just flat out refuses to quit, that is the person who will eventually cross the finish line. The principles are clear. The path has been shown to us by one of the greatest examples of our time. So the only question left is for you. Are you going to be that person? Don't wait for tomorrow. Be that person. Start now.